All right. Moving on. Okay, so this is probably the most interesting part of this here. And this talks about threat actors likely to focus on the election cycle, right? This is all about the election. Now, some of the most interesting parts of this I'll read through for you that I highlighted. Again, if you want this document as I highlighted it and all of my annotations, you can just head over to my Instagram once this is posted. You'll be able to request it from my comment section. All right, so one of the first things here is that, let's just read it from the top so we can get into this part of the paragraph. Our electoral processes are an attractive target for threat actors, and we expect many will seek to influence the 2024 election cycle, while others may seek to access or interfere with election systems, while law enforcement is still investigating their motives behind the apparent assassination attempts on a former U.S. president. These incidents highlight the magnitude of the threat surrounding the election cycle. Okay. Now, here we go. Some domestic violent extremists, particularly those motivated by anti-government or partisan issues, will likely view a wide range of targets, indirectly and directly associated with elections, as viable targets for violence with the intent of instilling fear among voters, candidates, and election workers. What would be the means to that? Like, what would be the end there? Why would they do that? Why, if you're an anti-government or partisan, if you're motivated by partisan issues, well, that's the more important one, right? Anti-government or partisan issues, right? If you're anti-government, we can now say that, oh, you're probably going to attack polling areas, right? You're probably going to go to the local polling area and bomb them or whatever, right? You're probably going to do that if you're anti-government. Like, no, I think you're just bad at your job, and that federalism is generally not helpful. And all it's done is caused a bloated taxation system and leached from American citizens and given all of our money to foreign entities to fight wars that we shouldn't be in. That's why I'm anti-government. And I'm not going to attack anybody as a result. But just because I state that opinion, they can now put me on a list to then say that, oh, I'm going to go attack a polling area. Like, so stupid. Some DVEs, particularly those motivated by anti-government or partisan issues, will likely view a wide, okay, we just said that, instilling fear among voters, candidates, and election workers, as well as disrupting election processes leading up to or after the November election. So leading up to and after, we're not putting any end to this, right? There's no cycle here. We're like, maybe for the next 3 to 4 months, we should be highly focusing on people who say that the government's bad at their job or doesn't have the right motivations. Nope, just or after. Foreign state affiliated cyber actors and cyber criminals almost certainly. So this is what I found really interesting too, because they point out the fact that people are going to try to, like, state affiliated cyber actors and cyber criminals are most likely going to try to change votes using technology, hack into the voting systems and change votes. But then they say something which I find to be hilarious here too. So foreign state affiliated cyber actors and cyber criminals almost certainly will view network infrastructure that supports U.S. elections as attractive targets. However, there is no reporting to suggest that foreign adversary targets of such systems have ever prevented any eligible voter from casting a ballot, compromised the integrity of any ballots cast, or disrupted the ability to tabulate votes or transmit election results in a timely manner, right? So they're definitely going to target these polling stations. They're definitely going to try to hack in and change votes, but there's no evidence ever that that's ever occurred ever to anyone ever. We promise, right? So what they're stating there is, like, again, laying the groundwork. They're saying that almost certainly will target the network infrastructure that supports elections to try and change votes. But then they follow that up with, there was no reporting, however, to suggest that foreign adversary targeting of such systems has ever prevented any eligible voter ever from casting a ballot or compromised the integrity of the... Because if they say, this has happened, we know it's happened, they've changed votes, we know they've changed votes, then what? Right? Like, then what? Then we know the election system is compromised, and they can't say that. But what they can say is that we know for certain they're going to target this and try to hack into it and try to change votes. But there's no evidence ever that it's ever happened ever, right? But almost certainly they're going to try to do it. Found that one to be interesting.